All right, welcome to another episode of Merchant Center Mastery. So today we're going to look at setting up promotions within Google Merchant Center Next. And per my videos, I'm just going to give you a heads up right now. Once in a while I see a comment complaining about how I ramble about different things. Look, I'm going to try to be succinct, but just as even this intro is showing you, that's just kind of the way I roll. So like that might just have to be the cost of, for you, the cost of like listening to me ramble, since this is a literally free channel and lots of free information for you. So I'll try to not be so rambly, but some of that is like, that's just the way I roll. So you can go find another Merchant Center Mastery class if I just annoy the crap out of you. So let's get into promotions. So some of this too with promotions is just like, I'm going to be setting this up, showing you, walking you through things. We'll try to set up like a supplemental source and all this stuff. But I'm using my ZetaWorks Publishing Merchant Center just so that I don't really have to worry about like private information and stuff like that. So I'll do my best here to, walk you through everything that you would need in order to kind of think through setting up a promotion in all of the step fashion. So I think a lot of stuff has not changed from Classic other than some UI things and that sort of thing. But, we can dig into it, and I'll try to share some tips and things to know about promotions. So one of the first things to know about promotions and sale prices and things like that in Google is there has historically been a big difference between like the actual sale price attribute in Google and in Google Merchant Center, and then an actual promotion. All right. And so there are some helpful resources that, can kind of help you see the difference of like what that looks like in the actual search engine result page, which of those is being used. Remember that Google also does a lot of their own automated annotations on your shopping listings as well. And so there will be times where you might see pricing stuff that's changed on the shopping listing, and that isn't actually like that's not like a promotion that someone created. One of the biggest things to be aware of when it comes to promotions and sale prices within Google is that if your product price does not change moving from the product page into the cart, you're not able to use promotions. That's historically been the way that it's worked. So if you're just running, and that's where that sale price attribute or even Google's annotations, which I think what they do oftentimes with their automated annotations for sale price is they'll look at, I think it's like a 30-day window, and it's a certain percentage below that average of that price. It gets actually kind of complex, the math. And if the new price is a certain percentage under that average price for like the 30 days, then that's when they show the annotation. So just be aware of that. Again, that's automated. But otherwise you can use the sale price attribute. So you can use that sale price attribute as well, where you say we are lowering the price on our page. You probably have that little like crossed out box, and like, look into that. Maybe I'll do another video at some point talking about that specific attribute and some of the complexities of that. All that to say, once again, just to clarify, if your price changes, like you just have a crossed out price on your page, and like that's the price that you advertise it for and all that, you cannot use this promotion. This is primarily for someone lands on the page and then with kind of a special whatever, they move to the cart and the cart lowers the price in the cart. That's when you can use a promotion. By the way, one of the reasons Google's trying to do that is so that the specific promotion tags and kind of the uniqueness of promotions isn't just something that someone games all the time by endlessly having a sale. So that's kind of the purpose of that. So as you open, so promotions, so you'll hit the main page of Google Merchant Center Next, and it is now in the promotions tab here. And you have, add promotion source. We won't talk too much about that, but you can have let's say you're a real big company and you have a bunch of promotions, especially, Black Friday, Cyber Mondays coming up. And maybe let's say we have like 25 promotions that are being set up. You can actually, there's a way to set that up in like a spreadsheet format where it just like gives Google specific promotional information, and you can do that. Man, I had to find that cancel button. Just, that can be, unless you're running a ton of promotions, I honestly think utilizing Google's UI is pretty easy to do and works pretty well. So, what you will do is, find the country and language that you want to run. That's typically going to match, your merchant center, but also then, yeah, obviously if you're advertising to different countries, you are going to need to match that. And then this is new and next, but it kind of tells you where you want to show the promotion. And so you can actually like select only in free listings, only in ads. And I think that's kind of interesting. And then especially like adding this Chrome browser, super interesting to me that you can actually deselect that. And I'm just kind of thinking here, like, I'm not, like, we haven't really gotten too advanced into this and why you would do that, but perhaps there are some promotions that you'd rather show just in free listings or just in ads or whatever it might be. Especially maybe you have like a more extreme discount and you want to run it on there. I don't know. We always just have it all because we're like, hey, promotion, let's show it all. Okay, so then you get into the nitty gritty of the 4 possible promotional categories. And again, here's where like you really kind of need to understand what Google allows, otherwise you'll be disapproved. And we'll talk about the approval process, but it's multi-step approval process. So the free shipping, again, let me state this very clearly. Free shipping is not like you cannot be a free shipping company and then just endlessly run a promotion for free shipping. That's not the point of promotions. You will not get it approved. It needs to be something where like you don't typically run free shipping and you are doing that as part of a, let's say, specific Black Friday promotional sale. It's added free shipping into the cart and all that stuff. So you need to be able to prove that. So that's very important to be aware of. And same with like all of those really, again, but especially the free shipping thing. Sometimes that confuses people because they think, hey, we have free shipping. Let's create a promotion that just endlessly runs. You just can't do that. Google will not approve that. So if we get into some of the other types of promotions, amount off, % off, and that's typically, more what it is. One of the things to be aware of, like, let's say you want a specific revenue dollar amount. So let's say that your company has a sale where you're like, buy at least $100 worth of things for the purchase amount, and then you'll get a % off. You can actually add that. So let's say we have a Black Friday sale coming where it's 25% discount. If there's no minimum purchase amount, just leave this blank. If you do have a minimum purchase amount, let's say it has to be $100, then you can add that in, and then that will match to your website, because that's, again, Google has a specific process of reviewing this. They have individuals reviewing this. And my understanding is that they utilize some form of AI, but then my understanding is, at least in the past, for what I was told, they do have someone manually review each of these promotions, which is why it can take a little bit of time, which is why you want to upload these and have them ready before your promotion, before Black Friday. Because literally when you have, 20,000 stores who submit promotions, Google has to review those, and it can take longer. So let's see. So you have $100, let's say, minimum purchase amount, 25%. That matches what you have on your website. And then here's what's going to show up in the promotion title. And so when you see the promotion showing up on Google Shopping, you'll see you'll see this. And let's say Black Friday sale. I like doing something like 20% off orders over 100. So you could say something like that. I like having kind of I think people, especially for things like Black Friday sale, actually almost think like this right away is more important, and there might, test it, whatever. But I actually like having, because that's what people are expecting, especially if they're in the shopping mode. So if they see Black Friday, that makes them think deal, and then they'll see the rest of this. So you're just trying to trigger them to be aware of it. Sometimes on sales, I might just do 25% off orders, especially if there's no like rhyme or reason. That could be your title. This is what the people see. And by the way, here's this little note here. Just be aware of this. Google may modify the title. So customers may see the title, but Google can modify your title. So just be aware of that. You get an angry client who's like, hey, this, why does it say that? It's like Google can literally change that and edit that. Okay, so be aware of that. And then promotion ID. This is going to map to your feed, and we'll talk about this, but you have to have a promotion ID. So let's just say, I might even say BFCM 2024. Make it simple. And we'll use that. So now we have promotion method. Which products do you want to run this promotion for? If it is literally every single product on your website, and it's typically not, spoiler, all right? It's typically not. There's almost never where a site literally is like, you know what, every single product. It may be, for instance, you might not want gift cards to be included in this 25%, and you might have that in your promotional details online. And if that's the case, you cannot select promote all products, because if Google sees that, if they find any product that does not match, then you'll get this disapproved. So it's just really important. Oftentimes, I just do not do promote all products. And then, or you can do a filter. So this might be something like product type, or let's just say like brand. So let's say you're like selling Nike shoes, right? And like every single Nike is on sale at this 25% for $100. Which, if that's the case, by the way, that's where like what I'll do is I'll change it. Like this needs to be like Nike Black Friday sale, 25% off on Nike orders over $100. Because then let's say you have different discounts for different brands, then you're creating multiple promotions, each for those specific brands, if that makes sense. Which actually works really well, because sometimes those brands aren't all on the same. They don't have the same promotional discount. They don't have the same dates even. So just creating a unique promotion for each of those is the way to go. So you can do that. Probably what I like doing the most, and this is what we'll walk through. And by the way, this one is totally new. Create an event. I don't think I've seen this before. Create an event with destination URL for a sale, special occasion, or product category. That's super interesting. I've never seen that, and I actually think that's a cool idea. I've never done this. This is completely brand new. So man, screw around with that. It looks like I am very interested to dig into that. We might have to make another video looking into that, because I've never heard of this. I have no idea what create an event is. Anyways, so the normal way of doing things, let's say, I typically like mapping specific SKUs, specific IDs to this promotion ID, because then I make sure I say it's only these products. Again, unless there's a very clear, it's literally all the Nike products you sell or something like that. If it's not, use this option, the promotion ID. Then if you do have a code, let's say it's 25 BFCM 25. Now select a date range. So we're gonna say see, Black Friday this year is the 29th. This is a weird year because Black Friday is 29th, Cyber Monday is the 2nd. So that messes up your budget, because it's literally like different months, so different days. So let's say we are running that through this. So here's something I want you to think through. So complexity, right? If we want to run it from 12 a.m. on Black Friday to the end of Cyber Monday, you don't want to do this unless you're willing to lose an hour. So what I would suggest, this is one of those weird little hacks, I would suggest you do to the day after and run it 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. That's going to make sure that you get all of Cyber Monday included on that. I know it's a weird little hack. So what we're going to do now is we're going to save this. And what I said was map promotions. So this will come, it's not going to get approved. Which is fine, because I'm not actively running products. So give it a second, and it'll show up here once we actually get started. Now here's where I'll walk you through something, and that is, how do you map these products, and how do you map the products you want? And here's where we're going to play pretend, because I only have one product in here, but here's where I would use a supplemental source, and here's where I'm going to say add a supplemental product data, or a supplemental product, use Google Sheets, and I'm gonna say, let's just go ahead and use the template. Gonna have to do all this. Start this. It's gonna create a supplemental feed, and now this, I know the template works, but like it kind of annoys me, to be honest, because it's like giving you information. And like, I'm just like, no, I just literally want the promotion ID. So, okay, I'm just like, this annoys me. So I'm going to like I'm just going to delete all this. I'm going to delete all this and I'm going to do this myself. So ID and then promotion underscore ID. So remember with the supplemental source, you don't want all of your information in there. You just want the information you're changing. So with Google Shopping, promotion ID. So with Google Shopping, this promotion ID, that's what we created. Remember? Let me go back just to show you, just so just so you're remembering. I'll leave that other one open. I created a new tab. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Cool. Okay, so remember, here's the promotion ID. That's different than the promotional code is the coupon code that people use on your website. The ID, oh gosh, Google, you're confusing. Do not say ID here because ID for us means your product ID. That's not what this is. This is your promotional ID, which is this. That's how Google maps that to your products. So here's what we're going to do. So now here's where you get your list of products. So, and you know this. So let's say it's like, I'm just going to type in random numbers. Like these are your products. Although if you're like Shopify, it probably looks more like this, which by the way, hack here for you. Make sure that this is, unless Google's changed this is case dependent. So just as a note, if you add this in, I've seen this before. If you add this in to your supplemental source without this capitalized, it's not going to map to that product. And you're going to be like, what's going on? It's like, check that. It's that. I solved that for a friend one time in like seconds. He was beating his head against the wall and he's like, please help me. And I was like, oh, hey, capitalize US. He did it and everything was included. So that's just one of those little hacky things. So, whoops. Did I say 2025? No, I didn't. Okay, yeah. Okay, and then, so we're just going to go ahead. Okay, so there you go. You're like, yeah, I just want these 4 products mapped. So, create that. By the way, I might say promotion IDs. MCM Merchant Center. That way, if I'm in my Drive account, I actually know like what it is. So this is the spreadsheet that Google created. So we're going to use that. We're going to continue. Select primary source. This is what I have created as my primary source. Your supplemental feed has to be connected to your primary data source. So we're going to do that. It's going to do that. We're going to get errors, by the way, again, as a reminder. So now because this sheet, which by the way, boom, that opens up that, right? And I think data source setup, what I like to do is I like to, again, change this name, promotion IDs. So I'm going to change that name just so I know like what this source is. So watch this. Now we're going to see, okay, product source 2, that's my Google sheet that I made. This is what's mapped. Now check this out, promotion IDs. So now we have this supplemental source, and then, so here's what you'll do then. So then you'll, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. You do need to update it that first time. Oh, I think that I didn't give it edit. Ooh, I think I didn't give it edit permissions. Check that out. This needs to have it. Wow, Google, why would you do that? Google, you need to change that to editor. Again, like that wasn't the case with Merchant Center Classic when you would do that. Interesting. So you actually have to give the source edit permission. So all that to say, so now I'm not going to have any like match products because so it's saying so this is saying, hey, your product data is correct, your attributes are set up correctly in the supplemental source, but you don't have any match products. And again, that's because like I literally made up those products within that Google sheet that we see here. There is no product like this. So Google's like, hey, we're not matching it. That's because it's made up. But hopefully that gives you an idea. So then what you'll do the next time, can you tell I'm excited about the stuff? Like this is the stuff that I think is really cool about managing stuff. So then once this is done, go ahead and just like delete that. I mean, you can delete everything if you want, or some of the, here's what we like doing with this sort of thing. Get a list of all your IDs and just have them there constantly. And then just make sure that you delete the promotion IDs. That way, when it's time for a promotion, you just hop into your list of all of the products and then just like quick throw in the new promotion ID and map it to those products, and then just keep using that same supplemental source. So that's how you do that. And then finally, like the last thing to note is just that you basically have 3 parts to this promotion review. Like promotion, Google cares so much about promotions. Like sometimes there are other things that Google doesn't seem to care about at all. And then like promotions, they're like, whoa, we need to do a major approval process. This is super important. And then they'll just like run these random annotated sale things that don't always align with your, anyways, I digress. So the initial one is policy review. This is my understanding is this is more of the AI review. So it's just like looking, just a real quick, just look that like, what your advertising is acceptable to their policies. So you're not making up some like, hey, I want to sell 2 products and then give 1 product back and blah, blah, where they're like, hey, that's not actually something we offer as a Google policy. So policy review is more automated. It's quick. Then you have SKU review. My understanding is that this is what's manual. It could be, I wouldn't be surprised if this is increasingly automated, and then if there's an issue, then it's kicked to a human. But there is often, if there's an issue, I do know if there's an issue, it's kicked, a human is involved. So, and then if you get SKU review, then for the most part, so set this up before your promotional time, because the objective is you want these 2 things approved before it gets to your time. Then what happens on the final stage, maybe this is where I'm sorry, this might be where the human comes into play. Then once it gets to the final state and your promotion actually goes live, then the system quick checks to make sure it's okay. If it's not, then a human gets involved. They'll check your landing page. Sorry, I think what I communicated earlier was wrong. The final state, they'll check your landing page. And typically they'll send you like a note about saying, hey, your promotions are not matched up. This is the product we looked at, and it's not working, and which is super helpful because you can go look at that specific product and then maybe you send that to your client and say, hey, this product actually isn't working, or like something with what you've said in your promotion is not matching with how the website is actually selling it. So just check and make sure there's no confusion. You know, there are many ways that can happen, which is why you have to do some sleuthing. For instance, geography could be one of those things. You may not realize, like your client may not have told anyone that this promotion is not available to, let's say, Alaska and Hawaii people. And so if you've not noted that as an exclusion somewhere, then Google is looking at that, and maybe they're trying it with Alaska and Hawaii, and they're like, hey, this isn't allowing, this person isn't able to check out with it, and then that's why you get that disapproved. So sometimes you have to do some sleuthing and figure that out. But that's kind of like the big picture way of like looking at this. I'm actually gonna like end that just so that I don't waste anyone's time because this is not, including myself, because that's not gonna be approved. So anyways, yeah, dig into that yourself. Hopefully that gives you kind of a helpful walkthrough, setting that up, setting supplemental sources up, all of the above. Let me know if you have questions in the comments below, and thanks for watching.